Well, in addition to technical challenges, we have a lot of interaction with Chinese companies, and we're qualifying their products for markets outside of China. We're in a space market and aerospace, so they're a very conservative industry. We're only running 4 years. It's very difficult to convince them of the quality of the product that we're selling, even though most electronics products are made in China and they're very good. For example, the Apple iPhone is, pretty good. What we have to do is convince people in Europe and the US that the product we're selling is of sufficient quality to be used on their space program. I had previously, in a summer job, done some programming in Imperial College in London, and I had liked it. So some years later, after dropping out of applied sciences in DIT and spending some time in Germany and London, I did a FOSS course and was very hands-on, 6-month intensive course in computer programming, and loved it, and got a job as a result of the FOSS course, and subsequently did some academic studies, got a degree at night, and I did it the hard way, I think. There was a guy when we were setting up this company, OCE Technology, his name was Chris Fairclough. Chris was one of these guys who could sit down and, a bit like Michael Ryan, our CTO, and tell you something from square one. He could derive Maxwell's equations at the drop of a hat, and so Chris was a great teacher, not only to me, but to a lot of the people in that company at the time. But sadly, the day we got the money to set up OCE, Chris passed away the next day. I'm more a jack of all trades than a master of one. So I like doing a bit of everything. So in this job as CEO, we're a very small company. We're 7 people now. We were probably down to 4 people at one stage, but we're growing again, thank God. So I can do a bit of marketing, a bit of sales, a bit of accounts, when we started first, I wrote some of the software, so I got back into software. So I get to do a bit of everything. What happens is early in the morning, all the queries come in from Asia because they're up before us. In the middle of the day, they tend to be queries from our distributors in Europe, and towards the end of the day, probably next year we'll be getting America. We're moving into the US market next year, so I would expect that we'll have a lot of stuff coming in that time next year. So we play a game of cards every day, contract twist, and I finish work usually around 6 o'clock and home for 7. So my main responsibilities are keeping the show on the road, which means making sure there's enough money to pay the salaries, making sure that the guys have enough information to do the work and deliver the contracts that we're obliged to do, make sure that the sales guys have the support that they need to continue selling product, and try and do it in such a way that everybody's happy, everybody has enough money. So that's not what they're worried about. They're worried about the job and not, the money. Probably, like I said earlier, I'm a bit of a jack of all trades. So my experience allows me to understand hardware design, some chip design, PCB, a little bit of software because I was originally a software engineer. I spent a lot of my time as a sort of a product manager supporting sales teams. So I've been out there, never been personally responsible for sales. So I guess, I'm a sort of a jack of all trades. My technical background helps me talk to the engineers. My product management background allows me to talk to the business managers in companies. I did science subjects, physics, chemistry, and biology. I did biology outside of school because I liked it. I did maths, Irish, English, French was the only foreign language. in retrospect, actually German would have been more useful to me. It's a bigger market, and we've done more business with German companies throughout the years. So, well, I mean, my advice to anyone starting out would be to do something that you like doing. So I know that's a bit of a cliche, but there's no point in going into work if you don't like, if you don't like it. But how do you find the job that you're going to be good at? I don't know the answer to that really. In my case, it was trial and error. But I guess if you do the things you're good at, you tend to be good at the things you like. So that's not a bad way to approach it. Try and do something. And I'd never do something just for the money. It's not necessarily going to make them happy,